Time now for your forecast first on Eyewitness News, the CW7.
7 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Finally, some sunshine out there. We've got it in abundance today. Enjoy that. Don't enjoy the temperature, I know, but we're going to see that temperature thaw out here in the next couple of hours. 30 right now, all of us below freezing here in the tri-state, and we've had some refreezing on the roads out there, so be careful on your morning drive, even though there's nothing falling from the clouds that are out. High today is going to be in the low 40s. Enjoy the sunshine. I'll be back to tell you about a weekend forecast. It's looking pretty good, too, coming up in a few minutes.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday. A very busy morning, February 27th, now toward the end of the work week.
And coming up on today's show, breaking news for you overnight. A shooting in Spencer County we first told you about last night is now a murder investigation. We have new details for you this hour that we want to pass along.
Also ahead, the latest on the case of a suspect who's died following a chase earlier this week involving Evansville police. We'll show you the video now being released.
And are you prepared? With the coronavirus showing no signs of slowing, fears continue to grow over just how far and how fast the deadly disease will spread. What the U.S. is doing to make sure you're protected.
Live from the CW7 studio, this is Eyewitness News Daybreak.
Glad you could start off your day here with us on Eyewitness News Daybreak. I'm Jake Boswell.
And I'm Gretchen Ross. It's turning out to be a pretty busy morning in terms of news as well as traffic conditions. And we have overnight breaking news in a shooting that we first told you about as well. We're going to get to that in a minute, but right now we have some weather to talk about, really causing a lot of traffic issues in I-64 area.
Yeah, roads in the tri-state are good for the most part, but up in the northeastern part of our viewing area, DuBois and Perry County, they're having some issues, particularly in DuBois right now because of an Interstate 64 issue. We have, I think, 4 different school districts right now on 2-hour delays. That would be Perry Central, the Tell City, Troy Township School Corporation, Southwest and Southeast DuBois counties as well. All 4 of those school corporations on a 2-hour delay. In fact, part of a major interstate in the DuBois County area is closed for that very reason. Joe Byrd is live with the latest in our dashboard report this morning. Joe, you've been at that scene for about an hour now. What have you been seeing?
Unfortunately, no, I'll tell you what, Jake and Gretchen, I here at I-64, there is nothing that has changed since my last report there over on ABC 25 at about 6:30. You can see behind me right now, I-64, this is the eastbound lanes. Westbound is okay. It is the eastbound lanes that are shut down. However, as I just turned my back right now, traffic is being released off of the exit ramp right now from 162. So that is a good sign that traffic may start moving here relatively soon in this area. Maybe one lane is open, maybe both lanes are open. That is now a good question as to what's happening here, but that is some good news right now that at least there are signs of improvements on I-64 eastbound in DuBois County that things might be moving. Now, according to the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, about 4 o'clock this morning, of course that's Eastern time zone for DuBois County, at 4 o'clock this morning, a semi-jackknife here on I-64 eastbound, and then there are multiple slide-offs in the area as well, and I have seen NDOT salt truck kind of weasel its way down the exit ramp about 15 minutes ago, going the direction eastbound here on 64. This will be going towards the Louisville area. So now the question is going to be here, I would say in just in the next 30 seconds or so, the ramp is going to be empty. The question now is traffic going to be reopened here on actually I-64 itself? It should be, since they're letting the ramp traffic go now at this time, because it was actually backing up here on the 162 overpass. That is where we're standing. And there's actually some sheen ice, a very light glaze of ice here on the overpass. And there's actually a little bit of light snow on the ground as well. It wasn't a lot. You can probably see here where we're standing that some of the grass is covered with snow and some of the area is not covered with snow. So it wasn't a whole lot, but as we all know, it does not take much ice and snow by any means to cause some conditions. All right, so now state police, 2 of them down there, they are now moving their vehicles out of the way. And the FedEx truck itself is now being allowed to go. And we also have both ISP vehicles now going east on I-64 right now. So the good news is, during this live report itself, I-64 eastbound has reopened here in DuBois County. But I tell you what, behind the camera, Jake and Gretchen, it is really backed up back there as far as the eye can see. I mean, it's just semi-truck after semi-truck and vehicle after vehicle. So it will take a while for that traffic to get moving. But nonetheless, I-64 eastbound, DuBois County, Ferdinand area now back open.
Yeah, and that's some good news to see, Joe, here this morning. Thanks for that live report there in the DuBois County area of 64. I mean, that's been closed now for, at this point, about 3 hours.
Right.
And as Joe's doing his report, it begins to open up. That's great news on a day when the roads have been an issue in that area. Let's bring in Ron now to talk about not only those roads, but how the weather is affecting them. Ron, I mean, I think today has been the day we've been looking forward to weather-wise because there's no precipitation. The problem is 3 days in a row of rain with sub-freezing temperatures equals what we've been seeing.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like you're not expecting it on a day like today. You get up, you see the sunshine out there. You're not thinking, you know, there's nothing falling finally, any rain or snow. The problem is what has fallen, what was standing on the roads, and what refroze overnight. The temperatures all dropped below the freezing mark. So that's the problem we have this morning. It's the refreezing.
Right, and Joe mentioned just in that little area where he was standing on that overpass, some had ice, a patch, another did not. I mean, so you got to be very careful.
It upon where the water was standing. That's the thing. And like I said, drivers were not expecting that this morning. Thinking, hey, finally, I don't have rain on my windshield, and I have to use my wipers today. So, yeah, that was the problem we had up there, especially to the northeast. And the reason why it was to the east and to the northeast is because that was where it was more recently seeing a little rain and snow, as that now that system is finally pulled off to the east and away from the tri-state. So, yeah, be careful on that morning drive. I didn't notice anything, though, in the Evansville Metro of note. 7:06 right now as we see a lot of clouds still overhead in Owensboro. We're getting breaks, plenty of them, too, here in Evansville and points to the west. 30 degrees here in town, 30 in Owensboro, 30 in Santa Claus, 30 in Dixon, 30 in Calhoun, 30 in Madisonville. Look how much colder it is, though, in Fairfield, where the sky cleared out a little earlier, 25 degrees there. But we'll all be thawing out here in the next couple of hours. Nothing showing up on our live first warning Doppler radar. At the bus stop this morning, some breaks in the clouds, cold temperature right around 30 degrees. And when you're hopping out of the bus this afternoon, some sunshine, and 42 is what I'm calling it for a high.
Thank you, Ron. We have some breaking news overnight now to get to. A man has died and another is charged with murder following a shooting last night in Rockport. We've also just been able to confirm that the victim in this case is a high school student. Around 8:30 last night, the Spencer County Sheriff's Department says that they received a 911 call of shots fired in the area of Seminary and South 8th Street in Rockport. Officers from the Spencer County Sheriff's Office, Rockport City Police, and Indiana State Police all arrived, and that's when they discovered that 18-year-old Zane Lee had been shot. We've just been able to confirm that Lee was a student at South Spencer High School. School officials tell us that he was a senior, months away now from graduation. Emergency officials say that they worked and had limited time to help Lee once they arrived, but he later died. During this investigation, it was determined that there was enough evidence, Indiana State Police say, now to arrest 19-year-old Joseph Allen Petrie, who you see here, for the murder of 18-year-old Zane Lee. An autopsy has been scheduled for later today. It's a story that's been developing over the last several hours. We'll keep up with it throughout the day here on Eyewitness News.
Evansville police have now released dash cam and body cam video after 25-year-old Dean Smith died following a police chase Tuesday night. That video starts with this scene right here on Barker Avenue and Hillcrest Terrace. Smith is the passenger in this car when an officer attempts to pull the driver over. Smith opens the door, takes off running out of the vehicle. He later gets away again before a canine officer stops him in a backyard. Now, police tell us Smith had puncture wounds on his legs from the dog. On camera, he is awake and speaking. Officers call AMR, but then things took a turn.
Mr. Smith stops breathing, and life-saving measures are immediately taken by personnel from AMR as well as EPD. A short time later, Evansville Fire Department arrives and also assists in providing life-saving efforts for Mr. Smith.
Smith later died at Deaconess Hospital. Vanderburgh County Coroner Steve Lockyer says a cause of death is pending, additional lab tests and toxicology results.
Also from the Evansville Police, investigators have now named a person of interest in the murder of an Evansville firefighter. It all comes on the one-year anniversary of the death of Robert Dorr. That person has now been identified as 41-year-old Larry Richmond Sr. of Evansville. We have a photo to show you this morning. He was actually convicted of murder in a separate case more than 20 years ago and served 22 years in prison. Richmond is currently being held in jail in federal custody, actually, on unrelated charges. Family members of Dorr say that on this one-year anniversary, they're still seeking justice for his death.
I'm glad they have a person of interest. But where do we go from here? How much, it's been a year, how much longer is it going to take to take that person of interest to be a suspect, to be convicted?
Robert Dorr was 51 years old. He had served with the Evansville Fire Department for 27 years. He was actually killed in his front yard after serving a 12-hour shift with the fire department.
Making national headlines now, a Wisconsin community is in mourning today after a man killed multiple people in the latest mass shooting in America. Camila Burnell is in Milwaukee, where authorities are trying to piece together why this happened.
Shooter, what reports of one person shot at their record.
An armed employee storming a Milwaukee brewing complex Wednesday, gunning down 5 people.
We have located 5 additional deceased adult victims. The victims all worked at Molson Coors.
Police say the 51-year-old man eventually turned the gun on himself.
5 families, 6 families actually, are grieving and will be grieving because of this horrific act of this individual.
More than 1,000 employees were working on the sprawling campus when they began receiving text and email alerts about an active shooter.
Find a safe place, active shooter on campus. Police are on scene, remain on lockdown.
Dispatch from one fire engine call the scene a war zone.
Hold on, companies. They do not have the shooter down. It is an additional victim.
The names of the victims have not been released, nor has the motive of the shooter.
We're here on the scene of another American tragedy, another senseless American tragedy. And I hate to say that it's in our backyard once again. This is the 11th mass shooting in our state since 2004.
Well, 65 years now, sticking with national news, after 14-year-old Emmett Till was lynched in Mississippi. The House has approved legislation making lynching a hate crime, now under federal law. The bill comes 120 years after Congress first considered anti-lynching legislation. The House approved the measure on Wednesday, and the Senate passed identical legislation last year. President Trump is expected now to sign this bill. Now the latest in the college admissions scandal. We've been covering this now for more than a year. Lori Loughlin and Massimo Giannulli want to postpone setting a trial date for the couple's alleged involvement in the college admissions scandal. This is coming from their attorneys. In a newly filed court document, their attorneys are accusing the government of withholding information as part of the discovery process. They point to info found in October on the cell phone of the scam's alleged mastermind, William Rick Singer. Prosecutors say the messages were withheld because they first believed the notes were privileged. Once they decided they were not privileged, the messages were then released. Still, Loughlin and Giannulli's attorneys say other defendants entered guilty pleas because of that delay. Court documents are also suggesting that Loughlin and Giannulli's attorneys may file other motions, including a motion to dismiss the indictment and also one to suppress evidence.
Astronomers with the University of Arizona say they've discovered a mini-moon orbiting the Earth. Take a look here. The Catalina Sky Survey shared images of the object they discovered on Halloween last year from a telescope atop Mount Bigelow in southern Arizona. The image shows the mini-moon passing through the constellation of Aries. Now, according to a news release from the Catalina Sky Survey, the object is not expected to impact Earth. It is estimated to be 3 to 7 feet across and is expected to eventually burn up harmlessly in the Earth's upper atmosphere. And a fireball lit up the sky Wednesday across Arizona. Take a look at this. A home surveillance camera captured it streaking across the sky. Astronomers say it appears to be a bright meteor. Now, experts say meteors can be seen almost any time of the year, but for some unknown reason, they tend to be more active during the month of February.
Up next on this busy Thursday, we're finally seeing some sunshine. Ron is in with our Weather Authority forecast to talk about the freezing temperatures affecting traffic in the north part of the viewing area. Also, now that we're getting closer and closer to the weekend, he'll talk about those days ahead.